Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the latest episode of Moments with McClellan. We have our special guest, assistant leader, Joe Neguse.
Good to be here.
Good to
Hi, everybody.
Good to have you. So this is just a fun way for the people of the 4th District to get to know you a little better. And I'm a history maker. You are a fellow history maker. You were the first Black member of Congress elected from Colorado. So what is your advice to the next generation of Black leaders?
What a great question. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me on. What advice could I give better than to follow the course of the distinguished gentlewoman from Virginia? Because I think you have been a trailblazer, as of course back during your time with the General Assembly in Virginia, but now in the United States Congress, and I think you've created a good path for future leaders to follow. But fundamentally, from my perspective, I think it's important for anyone who's interested in public life and public service to be hopeful about the future and to stay hopeful about the future. Because at the end of the day, the work is all about building and trying to build a better tomorrow. And it's hard to do that if you're not hopeful about your ability to do so.
So I'm pretty hopeful, but people ask me all the time, like, what keeps you hopeful? So let me ask you, what keeps you hopeful?
Well, this is an easy answer for me. What keeps me hopeful back home in Colorado are my kids. I've got a 1-year-old, 16 months now, and my 6-year-old daughter who's in 1st grade. So it's hard not to be hopeful about the future when I get to spend my days in Colorado with them. Going to Natalie, my daughter's soccer practice, and seeing the kids play soccer in 1st grade. That'll make anybody hopeful about the future of our country. What makes me hopeful here in Washington are our colleagues in the House Democratic Caucus, this rich mosaic reflective of the diversity of our country, and I find great hope in all of the accomplishments and the achievements of our caucus and what they bring to the table, and that includes you, of course. So, I draw hope from that.
Yeah, we've got some amazing.
What do you draw hope for? I must be asking you questions.
You can ask the questions, yeah. So, what keeps me hopeful? I think it's. I remind myself how far we've come. You may remember I took my oath of office on my father's Bible that he kept his poll tax receipt in. And I think about how when he first registered to vote, he never could have dreamed that that I would be here. So even though sometimes, I realize that we're fighting the same fights as our parents, our grandparents, and our great-grandparents, we do it from a position of more power than they ever had. And we do it so our kids don't have to. So that keeps me hopeful.
That's very well said.
Yeah, thank you. Look at him turning the cameras on me. So you represent Colorado's 2nd district.
Yes.
What is something people might not know about your district?
Oh gosh, well there's a bunch. So those who haven't visited the district might not know that it includes the most iconic ski communities in the United States of America. So for all the skiers and snowboarders out there, Vail, Breckenridge, Winter Park, you've got Copper Mountain, Keystone, I'll go down the list. So every ski resort you can think of is in my district. Also, and I just actually verified this the other day, my staff, I think, they verified it, that the Colorado 2nd District has the most microbreweries of any congressional district in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
We have a lot in Richmond. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, you might have to verify. Actually, some of the other districts were Virginia. I can't remember if yours was, I'm sure it was up there.
Oh, good.
It's a wonderful eclectic district.
Good.
And it's bigger. This is the most interesting, not most interesting, but the statistic that always surprises people. It is geographically larger than 9 states. So
wow, that does surprise me.
District.
Okay, do you ski?
I do. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at drinking hot chocolate in the ski lodge. So.
You're welcome to come to Colorado.
I would love to. I would love to. Okay, so we've had to deal with a lot of Republican dysfunction this Congress. What do you do to decompress after a long week in Washington?
Oh gosh, well, that's easy for me. I mean, again, it's hanging out with my kids. So I try to get out of Washington as quickly as I can when votes are called, or rather when votes are completed, and get back to Washington, get back to Colorado, even on a red eye if need be, and being able to watch a movie with my kids. On Saturday, Natalie and I had a movie night to watch Garfield, the new Garfield, which is very witty, and it was a funny movie that we both enjoyed. But
did you do popcorn too?
We did the popcorn.
Yeah, we did too.
We did brownies. She had, way more snacks than her mom. It was
No,
intending her to have.
We just do popcorn.
I shouldn't be revealing that, but yeah.
Well,
So,
don't tell me. Okay, so speaking of popcorn and brownies and food, if you could have dinner with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Well, full disclosure, the Congresswoman and I were discussing this before we went on air, and my struggle with this particular question, because you're forced to reckon with all of human history. So billions of people who you could meet with. That's a tough question. And then, of course, the Congresswoman responded with a great witty retort of, "It could be a dinner party. It doesn't have to be this one." So I would say Michael Jordan. I'm a big basketball guy, fanatic, and I've never met him. Would love to talk to him and to have dinner with him. There's of course all the maybe the obvious answers, but President Obama,
yes,
incredible leader. There's a long list of people that I love. How about you?
Oh, there's so many. Probably Shirley, who's on the wall, Shirley, just to see what it was like for her to be here. Probably would be very interesting. You hear a lot about the founding fathers of this country, but I'd like to talk to some of their wives just to say, get the other side of the story.
See, now we're going, I'm getting tested on this question because I'm thinking about the fact that it's, as you said, it's dead or alive. So, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
We'd love to, that would be an incredible experience.
Some would say you can still see him in the White House now.
Is that right?
But he's supposedly haunts the place.
Is that good to know?
Good. I don't know if it's true. It's just
you mentioned Shirley. Joseph Rainey. So Joseph Rainey was the first black congressman ever elected in the history of the country from South Carolina. And it would be incredible to do it with him.
Yeah.
Or Robert Smalls, who's another South Carolina, one of the first black congressmen during Reconstruction. Just as you said, to kind of hear their stories, that would be incredible.
Lots of good people. But sticking with people that you have to spend time with or would want to spend time with, if you were stuck on a deserted island with any member of Congress, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh, what a tough question. Oh, I think of plenty that I would not want to be. That's probably the easier question. But as assistant leader of the House Democratic Caucus, I value all the members of the House Democratic Caucus, and so that's a tough. So I don't know. That's a tough. I have to take an audible. Let me skip that one.
Let me ask it this way: would you rather be with someone who would keep you entertained, or someone who would help you survive?
Would definitely survive, right? On an island. I'm dead. I'm a landlocked state, so Colorado's not really, from trapped on an island.
Okay, so maybe Mary Peltola can help you fish.
Well, that's true.
You're
really good at on the off the cuff.
Well, I've asked everybody that question, and the answers have been a wide variety. So,
well, who's your answer? I'll stop posing the question.
No, somebody asked me before. So probably Cindy Comlager-Dove, because she would definitely keep me laughing. And I was a Girl Scout, so I think I can manage to keep myself alive. And she definitely is very resourceful.
That's what my instinct was to say. A bunch of my buddies in the Congress, like Mike Levin, Colin Allred, Andy Kim, folks who just are good friends.
Good.
Who I really keep in mind.
You gotta laugh.
And survival.
That's important. That's important. Okay, so do you have a favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory? A number of them. I guess one that would pop in mind for me. I represent, as was mentioned, this mountainous district, beautiful part of Colorado. And Rocky Mountain National Park is one of the kind of gems of the national park system. And at a very early age, we moved to Colorado when I was 6, from Bakersfield, California. I can remember hiking with my dad at 8 years old, 7 years old in Rocky Mountain National Park. And that's an enduring memory. Yeah. And I suppose maybe it's because now I've had a chance to take my daughter up there. And so it's kind of full circle.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so if we don't have walkout songs here in Congress, we really should though. What would be your walkout song?
What would be my walkout song? Again, so many to choose from. It'd be a mix, right? So you could have, on the one hand, definitely some Journey. I don't know, you're big on Journey?
I grew up listening to Journey, yes.
It would be hard, Don't Stop Believing. That would be a fun.
That'd be a good
song. But then there's some 50 Cent songs, or some Tupac songs, it would be
Yes.
pretty good too.
Yes.
So I don't know. That'd be a tough challenge.
That is a tough challenge because it's like, do you want one with lyrics that matter, or do you want just a catchy beat? Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be thinking about that one the rest of the day.
well, you need a walkout song.
I do need a
Everybody
walkout
needs
song.
a walkout
You're right.
song.
You gotta think like a good. And it depends on what. Well, I guess if it's a walkout song, it's like a joyous.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, I hope so. So, let's see. Colorado, as we mentioned, is known for its natural beauty, and you've kind of touched on this a little bit, but you've given a couple options. So, what is your favorite outdoor activity?
Favorite outdoor activity would be hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love skiing too, but I don't get to do it as much.
Yeah, I would prefer to hike than ski. Okay. And when you are back in your district and you have to pick up dinner on your way home, where are you going?
Ooh, I mean, that depends on what my wife is. So that's it's usually a conversation with her about where she'd like us to stop by.
That is the most common conversation among married couples.
Is that right?
Well, I just made that
Is
up.
that right?
I don't know. In my household, it is. But
it's our experience. Yeah,
that is my experience. Yes.
So there's a
Focus
lot.
group of two.
I love this. I don't have it out here in Virginia. Cosmos Pizza. Cosmos is like it's a bowl. Yeah, it's kind of more of a Colorado thing. So yeah, that'd be like a comfort food that I would go grab.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, what?
I'm still thinking about the walkout song. I'm gonna amend it. I'm going back to Stevie Wonder. There's also a couple Stevie Wonder songs.
Okay.
Tough for me to not have.
That would work. That would work. So, what is something people would be surprised to know about you?
Surprised to know about me. I don't know. Because I'm ask my wife that question. I guess I'm more of a homebody. I mean, I like to, watch movies. Movies at home with the family, and even though I maybe seem more extroverted, but at the end of the day, also really enjoy being with family.
Yeah.
What about you? I also have a pretty good jump shot. I think people would be surprised with that.
I'm surprised about that.
I was in New York recently for an event with Representative Espionage. You have to ask him. You can test. But it was, pretty good.
Okay.
So,
what would surprise people about me? I used to do theater.
Really?
In high school, yes.
All right.
I did. When I went to college, I had to choose between theater and politics, and I chose politics. But sometimes I feel like there's a little bit of theater here. A little bit. All right, so we are going to do the lightning round to finish up.
All right.
So, do you have any pets?
Yes. The dog. We still call him a puppy, but he turns 13 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Next week.
Okay,
So
what's his
he
name?
is Teddy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Okay. Text, call, or FaceTime?
Call.
Any nicknames?
Not really.
Well, we call you Goose.
Well, that's true. Goose. I mean, you're right. That is that's become a nickname.
That's become a
That's
nickname.
good nickname.
You got a favorite superhero?
Oh, that's a great one. I think Batman. I think I'm going with that.
Favorite villain?
I mean, is Batman kind of a villain occasionally? I guess.
Sometimes.
Yes. I mean,
Sometimes.
stupid
All right, I'll allow that. I think I know. DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Oh, that's surprising.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Is Marvel? DC is Batman.
DC is Batman.
And Superman and the.
Yeah.
What would X-Men be?
Marvel.
So I don't know. Because I grew up on X-Men.
Okay.
As a kid.
Okay.
So I'd probably go. But you know what? I'd do DC. Because
DC.
Marvel, like the modern stuff, I'm not as hip to it.
There's a lot of it.
There's
a lot. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Okay. Are you followed by Mark Hamill?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Any favorite sports team?
Of course, the Colorado Buffaloes football team.
Yes.
Denver Nuggets, big Denver Nuggets fan. The Joker. Denver Broncos. That's all Colorado.
All Colorado teams. That is.
But I was a big Bulls fan when I was a kid.
So was
Michael
I.
Jordan was kind of the.
Oh yeah. He was the greatest. So now you've spent a little time getting to know Joe Neguse. Join us next time on Moments with McClellan.